Hello again, whiskey friends. Thanks for joining. I'm Darrell, the Whiskey Saint. We are back for another review, guys. So gonna stay on track with another bottle from K.Luke. Can't talk too much about these guys, man. I've been doing it probably the last, God, maybe 5 months, 6 months since I got introduced to their product. We're gonna be reviewing today, guys, a sample that my buddy Nate sent me last week. I know we did the cab finished Keenan, which was killer. I think that may be my favorite K.Luke product, but we're going to sample the K.Luke Batch 7 barrel strength, 116.4 proof, guys. And I did try a tiny bit of this. I remember it being pretty good, but we're going to dive back in, break it down, and let you know what my final take is. Maybe actually put it against something towards the end. So stay tuned. We're going to kick this off, guys. Cheers. Welcome back, guys. And I need a Glen. So we can try to dive into this. But yeah, this K.Luke Batch 7, I got this probably about a week ago, and I took a small little bit out. You can kind of see it's not much really taken out of it. But I do remember it being a little different than the last few batches that I've tasted. You know, I really want to get into a blind of all seven. I have samples that I received from Jonathan Masano. Thank you, buddy. Of samples, I believe 1, 2, 3, and 5, I believe, because I have batch 4 and I have batch 6. So I think he sent me, 1, 2, 3, and 5. I have 4 and 6, and I got this 7, which I may ask my buddy for another sample of. But I'll have to probably break that up. Can't do 7 barrel strength whiskeys, in one sit-in. But I'm going to pour this up. I'm actually just going to pour it all. If I don't finish it, dump it right back in there and save it. But just going to let that sit for a sec. Give it a nice little swirl job in there. Get some air in there. But like I said, I do remember this coming across different. Granted, I had a small sample, guys. It wasn't a big one. This is really going to let me know if that was the case. But yeah, it was slightly different than what I thought it was going to be. But actually in a good way. It's going on the nose. Cheers, whiskey friends. So right out the gate, this comes across older, kind of how that Keenan did. And when I say older, I'm just getting more just heavy oak influence that I haven't gotten really off the last two batches. So batch 5 and batch 6, I don't remember it being as oaky as this. I do have a bottle towards the end of this that I'm just going to compare. I kind of wanted to do it blind, but I'm just going to do it quickly with you guys here. Then maybe at some point do like a true blind against these two. But yeah, the nose is just super oak forward. It's very dark. You do get a little bit of some vanilla in there, but it's not like that standard, vanillas and cinnamons and spices. It's just really, really oak forward. Like I would have thought that this whiskey was probably, upwards to 10 to 12 years old, just coming off the nose in that oak. But a little bit of spice. It's fruity, almost like jammy though, like a blackberry. Yeah, really, really like a blackberry preserve. Almost like if it was just cooked down. Oh man, a little bit of citrus in there. Yeah, so right up front, a little dark, but it does open up into some brightness, which is nice. This nose is really nice. All right, let's go in for a sip, guys. Cheers. Oh wow. Yeah, so that dark berry, that blackberry plum, it is all over the palate of this. Front mid just lights up with just dark berries, which is up my alley. You get a lot of that oak. You get some spice in there. Finish is calming down a bit. I wouldn't say it's like a super long finish, but it's a medium to long. Like it's nice. That was first sip. Second sip's usually, where that finish actually really kicks in. But off that first sip, guys, this is better than what I remember it being. Like I said, it was just a small sample that I had prior, so I can actually enjoy this one a bit more. But yeah, that first sip was nice. Let's go in for a second sip, see if it changes a bit. Yeah, I can't get past like the blackberry preserves. Super dark, plum, dark grapes, dark berries. Like I did get a little bit of the citrus on the nose, but I don't really get that on the palate. Maybe like a small hint of like a bitter, like maybe like orange peel, but very, very minimal. Like there's not much of that citrus there. It's just so dark berry forward, which I love. And that oak is nice. I'll say the oak presence on the palate isn't as out there as what it was on the nose, but it's nice. I know I was trying to pull some specs out of Jonathan about these bottles in terms of age and everything, but I know he can't really dive into that. But I gotta think these are older than batches 1 through 4, or I would say batches 1 through 6. To be honest, like it just the oak presence on this is nuts. Oh man, yeah, Jonathan, you're doing you're doing work of the gods over there blending these barrels, man. This is nuts. That Keenan, like I said, may just top it just a bit. For me personally, I love the fruit forwardness. If anybody knows my palate, they know that. And that Cabernet finish is just, oh my god, ridiculous, ridiculous. But this may be a close second. I truly want to blind all the barrel strength batches to really see if this comes on top or what I'm about to put it up against really quick, being batch 4, just to see if I think this may be better. I know it's not blind. It's a little subjective being that, I'm about to pour it now, but I'm just curious. But we are going to do a blind at some point, guys, so we can truly know which batch, in my opinion, is king. So I'll pour that, give that a little spin job, get some air in it. Colors are pretty similar. Yeah, not much difference in color. But let's go in on the nose of this because I actually haven't had this batch in a while. I just don't remember it coming across as dark as this. But let's see. Oh, it's night and day. This is just super bright. Orange, tangerine, almost like green apple. Yeah, it's like a Granny Smith like sour apple on the nose. Versus this just being just super dark. Get a little bit of marshmallow in there now. Like I said, that slight citrus, but just super fruit forward. Like you would think this may be finished too on the nose, which is kind of nuts. Oh man. Yeah, that's nice. All right, let's go for a sip. This is batch 4, guys. Yeah, it's basically what I remember. Like batch four is fantastic. I do get a little bit of those berry notes on the palate of this as well. It's actually really nice. Mid to back of the palate is where that berry note shines. But up front on the nose, like they couldn't be any more different. So much citrus and just brightness on the nose of batch four versus just dark, sweet oak, berry, a little bit of marshmallow, like I mentioned earlier. But it's just so dark. Yeah, it's funny going between the two. It's crazy. You would think you're nosing completely different brands of whiskey. All right, another sip on batch four. It's damn good. Really good. Like I've tasted small samples of one, two, and three, and five. But I gotta say, batch four has been my favorite from one through six. I think I prefer batch seven over four. Like I said, the true test would be blinded them guys, but I'm just gonna take another sip of seven really quick. They're close. I would say the nose on seven for me takes takes it over four. Palette is very, very close. Just going side by side right here, I think I would prefer bat seven over four ever so slightly. Like it's not like a crazy killer. Like the if I put the Cabernet against these, I think that would just be like killing these two as good as these are. But seven, I think right now just tastes a little bit better than four. I'm gonna take one more sip. But like I said, I do gotta blind them, guys. I know I keep saying it. You know, true test right there because I know it's in the glasses right now. I just want to be, totally in the dark when doing this. Yeah, I can't get past the nose though, and this is so lovely. Yeah, it's just really good whiskey and a really, really good blend. Yeah, hats off to you, Jonathan, man. You're doing some crazy blends. Like I've yet to have a bad bottle from you. Just some better than the others, but all really good. Really good. But yeah, batch seven may be my favorite out of just the barrel strength batches. But we'll figure that out probably the next month or so. Try to get some videos together, maybe even do it live. But definitely want to blind nose just to really, put it to the test and see, which one kind of reigns champ after that. But yeah, batch four is phenomenal. Batch seven's good. Well, really, really good. But yeah, guys, you can't. I don't think you can go wrong with any of these. I didn't score bat seven, but I will say bats four, I believe, scored, I think, a 84 for us or for me, which is it's a pretty good score. I think it was in my top 10 for a while in terms of rankings. And tasting this today, like I said, I think it's slightly better. So I would think if I was to grade this whiskey, it probably would have been around, 84, 85, 86, somewhere in that mid 80 range, which is damn good whiskey for us. Anything in, mid 80s, even early 90s is just like fantastic, fantastic pours. I don't like to grade samples. I like to just grade bottles that I do own, so I can actually dive into them more versus, just a quick sample. But with that being said, guys, K.Luke, they're doing some crazy, crazy stuff. If you do see them sitting on the shelf, especially the barrel strength, I haven't had anything outside of that besides the Keenan, which is still a barrel strength whiskey, but I haven't had any of the small batches to know. But as good as John is blending these things, I doubt that there's, you know, like anything wrong with those. Those things are probably just as great, just obviously at a lower proof. I believe they're around like 100 proof versus, 116 to 120, depending on, the batch of, these products here. But yeah, hats off to you, John. Like, these are incredible. Really, really, really good whiskey, guys. I say, if you do see them, pick them up. I think it's a must-have, to be honest. Like, if you're getting them at retail, which they are typically with sale box, I'm not sure if he's on keg and bottle, but I know sale box is where I got my initial ones. Buy them. You're not going to be disappointed. You're not going to be disappointed, I'll tell you that. But we're going to end this video off like that, guys. Batch 7, killer. Batch 4, fantastic. Keenan, just off the charts. If you see him, buy him. Till next time, guys. Cheers.
Jeff, just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again.